Did you read this as a tribal kingship sort of conversation, or was it a national conversation? Because many people say that politics is local. You start with convincing your people, and then you move out to the rest of the people. And now we're simply just burying our heads in the sand when you start saying that this is a tribal king.
Trevor, it was not a national discourse because first and foremost, we've been talking about unity. And the president said that when they shook hands, it was a symbol and sign of unity of the country. But Trevor, it cannot be that every election cycle we have discussions or conversations that pit community against each other. We put community or we bring issues that bring, suspicions, that bring, wars, that brings conversations that are not healthy for this country. So, President as an individual has a right to express himself or to speak what he has. But what is not good for the country is the fact that he could talk about some things that he cannot substantiate, that he has not himself, he has not taken an initiative to implement. Because, Trevor, if we are talking about corruption, for example, the president has been saying that he's losing 2 billion per day. And there's a time he even felt desperate that he could not be able to control what is happening in government. Trevor, we have lost 7.8 billion during COVID. We call it under the COVID billionaires. And the president himself assured us that, and even gave directive that within 6 months, he needed these people to be brought to book. And I'm very sure that the investigative agency had already given 15 names of government, senior government officials and business people, whom up to date have not been convicted. I also believe that during the Jubilee reign, we also lost over 791 million shillings on NYS scandal. And these people are still roaming around. Some of them are governors, some of them I saw in Nakuru, they want to run for serious seats. We also lost over 180 million youth fund. Are these people in jail? No. So when you talk about corruption, we are lying to ourselves, because if we cannot take up this initiative and fight corruption, then it is not a national discourse. So what basically was doing, it was just playing the politics of interest. And because they believe that after working with the DP president, and DP being a threat in that region, Kenyans know very well that he's the one who sold Ruto to Mount Kenya, and Ruto had already impregnated, Mount Kenya region, and he did not want them to use P2 or other measures. Now these people are pregnant, and you cannot tell them now to abort and use other means to remove Ruto out of Mount Kenya. So I think that is, because if you look at the tone, you look at the language, you look at how he was very angry, can tell you that there's something going wrong. Okay. So I think it is high time we should now bring other communities together. Because if you look at this country, we have 42 tribes. We are a multi-ethnic community. In fact, the biggest in Africa. In fact, the last time you cannot quantify, you cannot have specific evidence on the number of tribes we have in Kenya. The last one that was done was in 1969. And the one that was done in Kenya census in 2009 had brought it to 111 ethnic communities. So these people need to be brought together. If we are really sure and we are serious that we want to bring this country together, it is not about 2 communities. It is not about 3 communities. It is about Kenyans, and it is about the agenda that will uplift the economic development of this country. Okay.